I heard, what was it? I was listening to Bernard Chapin's show. I do not like Bernard Chapin. I don't hate him either. Genuinely indifferent. But I do like the show. And he was talking about a survey. I think it was put out by OkCupid, where millennials, if I remember the statistics correctly, a decade ago, people of the same age, women, it was both women and men, were like 20% that they would not, they would swipe left, or what is we don't want the person. They'd swipe, I don't want to meet this person if their politics didn't matter, or if their politics didn't match. That had gone up to 47% for today's millennial women. And the men went from like 20% to 30%. And oh my God, it's just, I got to write a chapter in the book on millennials, the chapter I'm on now, which highlights and proves just what a failure of a generation they are. And I'm going standard traditional stuff, debt, labor force participation rate, percent that work part-time jobs is youth, net worth, savings rates, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But then you get these anecdotal bits where they place, and it was something like they surveyed, would you rather have this or sex? And the women especially, because remember, women do not like sex as much as men, boys. I'm going to tell you that again. And please do not fake dude bro, puff chest out with your MBA. Come on, dude, chicks like sex just as much as guys do. No. They do not. They empirically do not, because if they did, there'd be a lot more fucking going on, and we'd overpopulate. I've gone down this road before. But just to show how successful the left has been at getting women and men, but predominantly women, to place politics above all else. To place politics above love, to place politics above sex, but then again, you women would, you'll place a kitty cat above sex. Where does sex rank in women's life? I mean, it's like, okay, my career, yes, ladies, we know your career and education comes from, we know. Then your career, sometimes you have to go talk to your therapist about, what do I value more, my career or my education? My education, my career. Then there's probably what? You. Then your children, if you have any. Then your, what would it be? Social status, like your community, your participation in the community. Your politics is sometimes is ranked tied for second behind, or maybe tied for first. I don't know. It's up there. It's up there. But sex is what? After money, rent, furniture, cats, pets. Sex has got to be so lowly ranked or moderately ranked in women's world. And genetically so, biologically so, but I just wonder, didn't you ever have good sex? Have you never had your world rocked in bed? What was it? I looked up the statistics once, not to brag. Okay, the old Capmeister doesn't like to brag. When the captain was young and dumb, he thought girls were like guys and they could only come once, and then there'd have to be this refractory period. But early on, I figured out through performance, I won't lie, it was through performance, that some girls can come multiple times. And soon, that became the standard. So I don't know if it was bias selection, that the girls I were choosing were very comfortable within their sexuality. And again, still somewhat dumb and naive. I thought, well, what was wrong with the other girls? Why were they only having, orgasming once? And not to be crass, but then I just, these girls, and like, you want to go again? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. I didn't go yet. I knew. I'm like, nah, we gotta, and I'm not joking. 5, 6, sometimes 10. One time, I think it was 16 times. 16-0. I'm waiting. All right, 16-1. I gotta go to bed. Yeah, you won, lady. There you go. And so I just thought, oh, the majority of women can have multiple orgasms. I thought that. And then there was something wrong with the women that could only have one. Or maybe they just didn't like me that much. Well, then I come to find out, it's damn well near a third of women can't even come once. Not even once. Oh, we can speculate because you're all fucked up inside your head. Where's this going? What does it mean? Why does it you fuck up a physical act with emotional thought. Well, it's how women are. Well, too fucking bad. I guess you get less comings. I guess you have less orgasms. There was a book put out a long time ago where they interviewed old people that were on their deathbed or were in nursing homes, and what were your regrets? And there were things like, I wish I had more ice cream. Top one, I think, was, of course, I worked less and I spent more time with my kids and grandkids. I think that was the obvious and the number one thing. But it was things like, I wish I had more ice cream. I wish I fished more. No one ever said, I wish I worked more or made more money. It was a very insightful and simple, but I think very clever and necessary book. Maybe I should go read it sometime and find out what the old people said. Because you morons, I'm going to live in the city. And meanwhile, all the old people are moving to Florida and tax-free warm states. I'm like, I'm going to do what those guys are doing. Which is why I'm the youngest guy on the golf course all the time in Las Vegas. But somewhere in there, I bet you, if women were to be honest, is I wish I had more orgasm. Or I wish I had an orgasm. And you could come up with the excuses why, same thing. I get excuses from my clients. I had a bad childhood. My dad wasn't around. I have the head to his. I'm on the spectrum. I have social anxiety disorders. I'm just not comfortable. Bro, too fucking bad. It's too bad you choose not to have orgasms. Oh my, you don't understand female psychosocial. Shut the fuck up. I need to be comfortable with daddy. Yeah, you need to be comfortable what? Until you hit menopause and no guy wants to fuck you. Then you have no orgasms. You have no chocolate ice cream. You have no cake. You have no more fishing. You're the orgasmless spinster dying on the nursing home bed. Whose celebration and achievement is you have your master's degree in women's studies or whatever the fuck it is that you guys have now? I'll completely disregard you baby boomers and no, I will not respect my elders. The spectacular failure of a generation you guys were. And so then, I'd imagine, because of that, sex must be very lowly ranked. If a third of you can't even have orgasms, I'd argue in the majority of the cases, because you choose to. I know that's very politically incorrect, but I'm not here to play the victim game or the woe is me game. And you're okay with that. Apparently a third, okay. I'm not saying you have to. Your choice. A third can have one, or maybe it was even more than can have one. And then there was a small, my numbers are off. I want to say it was a third, maybe 50, and only 20% could have multiple. I'm like, am I just getting lucky, or am I good? Is something, are they lying? Are Minnesota women just that comfortable with themselves, which I don't see at all. But yeah, it's the women don't like sex as much as men. I forgot where I was going with this. So, that's right, we're talking about the I'm doing this without notes, guys. You gotta forgive me. We're talking about that poll. And so, yeah, gals, I get it. And guys, I get it. Your politics are very important. I'm glad that you were such easily dupable. You were so not independent thinking that you value your politics. Basically half, just shy of half of young women. We're not talking marriage. I understand if you don't want to marry someone you disagree with politically. You can't. I don't even think you can do that. I think that's not possible. But to have sex, to go on a date, just to have fun? There was one time, I told this story before. I'll tell it to you again. You guys know I got a soft spot for redheads. Because if you don't, you're wrong, to paraquote Chris Beckloff. I was teaching dance class in St. Paul. I remember it very well. And there were these sisters that came in. Two sisters came in. I think both were teachers. Yeah, I think both were teachers. And I was younger, and this redhead was cute. She was cute. She was short, and she wasn't hot. She was just cute. And she had kind of that hippie girl thing going on. And I'm not a bigot when it comes to sex. I'll have sex with liberal chicks because that's all basically your choices are in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, and basically till you're dead. And, you can kind of tell a girl's flirting with you and maybe likes you a little bit over 5 weeks of dance courses. And so the end of the class comes up. I said, you want to go see a movie? She's like, yeah. And she's smiling. You can tell she liked me. You glimmer in her eye. Smiling, yeah. You don't know. Oh, well, I don't know. You're like, yeah. And this is so long ago. This is when we exchanged phone numbers, not to text, but to call one another. And this will date it. Whatever year The Great Raid came out, before James Franco threw away his career on pothead, dopey Seth Rogen dipshit films, James Franco had a breakout role in the movie The Great Raid, which is a great movie. And I own it. I should watch that again. It's so good. And I had seen it before, but it was such a good movie, I wanted to see it again. I said, well, let's go see The Great Raid. Because I want to make sure she enjoyed herself. So it's all on, man. Like, I pick her up. She's like, would you like a coffee? I'm like, no, that's all right. She's got her little fucking East Indian rug hanging up on the wall. Yeah, all right. The cute little hippie chick. And it was probably the last innocent date I had. I guess with the ending that's about to come up, it's not innocent at all. It's tragic. So we go out, and we're just sparring with one another, and it's nice. And we go see the movie, and it's the night's dim. I'm watching. Oh, this is a great movie. I'm into it. And I'm like thinking, what am I going to do next? So the movie ends. We get out of the theater, and permanent resting bitch face. I'm like, which was not a thing back then, but that's exactly what it looked like. And she was cold. She didn't say much of anything, if anything at all. I quickly realized something happened. I didn't know if I was farting in the theater or what. And we're not going to go get coffee. We're not going to go to the bar. And I dropped her off, and she got out of the car and stammered right off to her house. I'm like, that was weird. What did I do? This is back in the day when men were stupid enough to say, what did I do? When instead, nowadays, you guys go to the internet, you type in, what did I do? And the answer right there is nothing. Women are fucked in the head. And that is the true answer. So I thought, something must have been wrong. I don't think. And so then I remember asking her out on a date over email. Again, because men are stupid. They don't learn. And she says, Aaron, I am a pacifist, and you took me to a war movie. What were you thinking? I don't know if I can go out with you again. And I'm like, because you sent me your profile and resume on your social justice warrior activities, and that your beliefs was pacifism. She never said anything. Never told me. Like, I was just supposed to know. And it was so defeating. I mean, these weren't straws that were dropped on the camel's back. I think this was when Cappy was 30, 31, maybe 29. Enough straws had been put on the old Capmeister's back that, he was weighed down. He was a tired camel. It's like, why are there so many straws on my back? It's a long-ass desert I've been hauling my ass across. Because it's perfectly analogous to compare American men to Saharan camels. And then this was like a log that was just the dunk. In addition to the girl that hit me, the dunk. And then you kind of like, I didn't do anything. You know, you got the self-respect in your late 20s. Fuck you, bitch. I didn't do jack fuck all shit. I was nice. I picked you up in an old classic 1950s style. I picked you up. I asked you on a date. Let's go back even more. Let's go through all the stages and the steps this old dumb Gen Xer did that you millennial needle dick pussy boy soy boys can't even fucking do it yourself. She's too busy looking in the drawer for tweezers so you can jerk off the internet porn. What did Cappy do? Let's evaluate. Let's review. Shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Cappy learned how to dance. Then Cappy had entrepreneurial skills, so that he went forth and set up dance classes. Cappy then taught many dance classes, so his routine and gimmick and shtick was polished. So it was refined and entertaining and charming and tickling of women's fancies. Cappy taught thousands of dance classes, and then at this one, there happened to be a cute chick that there was chemistry with, man. There was chemistry. She had the red hair. I don't even think giggity was a word then, but if it was, we would have said giggity. She would have said giggity to me. She would have saw me walking in a dance class. I'd say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, da-da-da-da-da-da. She would have said giggity. And I would have walked around, helped out, and then when I got to her, hey, giggity. Dance class built up the courage, which really wasn't a lot of courage, because inevitably you pussies. I'm afraid of asking girls out. Fuck you. That's about to approach one of the how do I get the girls question. How do I ask out the girls? That one I'm charging $100 for. The stupid tax that's embedded in the Cleary pricing system. And I said, hey, do you want to go see a movie? She said yes. She gave me her number. I gave her mine, maybe. I don't know. Then I called her. You know, the obligatory call, the afternoon of. Are we still on for tonight? Then I drove her in my standard transmission car, which is more fuel efficient and better for the environment, I find out, by the way. You fake fucking frauds with your environmentalism. I walked up to her door, knocked on it. She invited me in. I chatted. I didn't freak out. What do I say? I didn't write scripts on my hand like some fucking Silicon Valley nerd who's never felt a boobie in his life before. I winged it. I was myself. I was Clary Man Epitomal. We chatted. We flirted. I had tea or coffee. I can't remember which. I said, do you want to go to the movie? She said, yeah. I opened the door for her even. Oh, Cappy, you foolish, outdated, antiquated man. This was in the aughts, early aughts, mid-aughts, many years ago. Before many of you had pubes. I took her to the thing. I paid for the date. Now, what was wrong? What did I do wrong? And when you're old enough, once you've been screwed around and women pull the fucking bullshit and this is beyond shit test, this is drama, this is antics, this is crap. You say, hey, wait a minute, I got self-respect. I did jack all fucking shit wrong. And if I did do something wrong and I'm unaware of it, by God, that's going to require such a change in my psychology to be aware of the eggshells and landmines I have laid around that it's not worth it. I guess I'll go be celibate or MGTOW. Because I'm not going to live this insane life, dancing around eggshells of the fragile sensibilities of the proto-millennial generation. And then I realized I didn't do anything wrong. I have self-respect. No, you took something that could have been great and fun and enjoyable. It was. It was a great, wonderful, enjoyable experience. And all you had to do was say, you could have even made it funny. You could have just made it funny. You do know I'm a pacifist, don't you? And I'd be like, what? I'd be like, oh, no. So, that movie was not good, huh? And then that would have been funny. No, you gotta make the innocent guy who just charged the beaches of Normandy feel like shit. It's not, you know what it's like? It's not, I'm charging the beaches of Normandy, or these young men are charging the beaches of Normandy. and they're getting shot at, and they make it up the hill, and it takes courage. And it's that the Germans are shooting at us. No, that's the Germans are supposed to shoot at you. That's what's supposed to happen. It's when you get repelled or rejected off the beaches by the Germans on Normandy Beach that the women back at home in Britain or the United States or the home front bitch and whine at you. You didn't know? You didn't know that was going to happen? That's the insult. It's like, bitch, I'm the one that did all the approaching and the courage and the approach and the courageousness and took all the action. And you come up, you complain. It's even worse than that. We captured the beach. We captured it spectacularly. We executed perfectly. You're bitching and whining because we took that pillbox instead of the other pillbox first, because you're a pacifist. You're bitching and whining, well, you should have used the BAR instead of the M1 Garand, because you're a pacifist. And you're going to huff and puff and stammer your little feet and pout. And that was about 10 years ago, or maybe even more. Oh, it had to be 15 years ago. Whenever the Great Raid came out, which parallels this survey that was done, which means women are 2.5 times more like that today. And I always wondered what happened to that girl. You know, I always wondered, here's this guy, you might have something. Everything seemed to be on fire. All pistons were firing. All cylinders are go. And you ruined it. You ruined it with something as petty as politics. And I wonder where she is now. Did she find the nice pacifist? Dude, I'm sure there's one or two of you out there who you are masculine pacifists and you can beat the shit out of me. But I'm gonna bet around 97 to 98% of the pacifists, my scrawny $150 ass can easily beat the fucking shit out of. I don't care how tall or big you are, I could probably beat the fucking shit out of you. So if she's gonna relegate herself to the pacifist, what pathetic, limp-wristed Gen X soy boy with gray hair now is she? Maybe not. She's not even married, because the politics didn't add up. What's her dating life like? Again, I understand you don't marry someone within your politics. I understand that. But who did she date? I want to know the percentage of first dates she had that beat mine in terms of lead up to the movie. Take the movie out of it. Take the movie out of it. How many guys did she date that were on par with that? That had that much promise, that much of a good lead up to a story. Oh. And you boys, you dipshits, you morons. Me too. If a girl's conservative, fuck that. I respect women. Because I'll tell them whatever I think they want to hear so I can fuck them. That's respect. The irony is that you tell women no because you do respect them and want to treat them like equals, and you actually hold them to standards. Make them all pissed off, but will get you laid. Meanwhile, doing what they say they want you to do, and then not really treating them with respect, but fake treating them with respect. Doing just sucking up to them doesn't get you laid. Never forget that picture of that soy boy with the Emma Sulkowicz, that mattress girl, where he's helping her carry the mattress. That sap, that simp. That's who this cute little redhead got. There's your choices, sweetheart. There you go. And you boys think, that increase from 20% to 30%. That's just you boys think it's going to get you laid. You'll do whatever you're told just to get yourself laid. As long as it isn't hit the gym, learn to approach, embrace rejection, and build up a callous and courage. As long as it's not that, you'll do anything you can but that. So, yep, all time, socialist. Yeah, I'm a male feminist. Well, But the women, oh God, you women will do whatever you're told by your teachers and professors and authority figures, won't you? Because you're so strong and independent and critical thinking and independent minded. And you put fucking politics above love, above sex. I would even say it's love, wouldn't you say? I guess it would be love as well. I guess Tinder is more of a, well, for men it's trying to hook up site. For women it's just a heroin needle for a attention fix. But we could say this: 47% of millennial women, at least surveyed by this, were on dating sites or apps or whatever it was they were using it to analyze. They put their politics above fellow men, fellow human beings. We could say sex and the potential for love. Could we call it that? Companionship and the universal love, whether it would be companionship or romantic or sexual, the universal love and affection. There we go. The affection of men. I think that summarizes it rather thoroughly and succinctly. Women value their politics over the affection of men. Half of them do. Have fun. Have fun. And then, related to this, did I hear it right? Because I don't pay attention to news, and I've been on the road this entire time. Did Rachel Maddow actually cry on her show when the Mueller report came back and Trump was exonerated? Did she? Is that true? Did that actually happen? Because if it did happen, and I kind of want to believe it did. I don't want to believe. If I had to put money on it, I would. That is so telling of so many things. And especially modern day leftist women, female psyche. If she did, the first thing that came to mind is, why are you crying over the fact that our president, our number one elected public official, is not corrupt? Like, if there was a corruption investigation against Obama, I would hope it came out clean, so I know, okay, at least he's not corrupt. I disagree with his policies. I disagree with his antics. But at least he's not corrupt. So from a government management perspective, a truly political science perspective, wouldn't everybody celebrate that? But Rachel Maddow, again, assuming she was crying, she didn't care about that. She hates Trump so much. She is beyond an ideologue. She is an evil person. She is not a journalist. She has no desire for the embetterment of people. She wants socialism. She hates Trump above everything else. Forget whether his statesmanship is validated or vindicated. He's a good statesman or he's not a corrupt politician. Forget that we have, in this regard, in terms of governance, a good government official. She is so pissed off that she wanted an innocent man to be guilty, to the point that her value, her entire fucking life value, is based on the ruination of a man she simply disagrees with on politics. Her entire life's happiness, her entire career, but her life's happiness is based on the ruin. She has such a hate boner for Donald Trump. It's Ahab's whale. He's ruining these left. This is so great. Maybe it's analogous. I wonder, are the millennials that are at that millennial housing unit storage facility in Tucson, are they even more depressed now? Was that what was depressing them at life? Even though they were all young and in shape and all had great jobs at national parks and could go hike, and they were living near canyons that they could hike, they were all off duty. They should be living their life and enjoying. They were at the prime of their life. Is that why they were so sad and depressed? Because Trump was in office? And if that was the case, are they now trebly, quadruply miserable? Are they too crying like Rachel Maddow was, in theory, on her show? Because they are such valueless people. They are so meaningless, worthless people because they have nothing else in their lives but their hatred and being an anti-Trump. Is that it? Is that all you got? I mean, look, I won't lie to you. Politics and economics played a huge role in my life. I made money off of it. I mean, the apolitical, the non-political part of economics, researching economics and banking and finance, that's certainly one thing. But the politics, when I had my radio show, wrote Cabby Cap Hep, my entire self-employed existence is owed to it. But never once did I say, boy, I want to read about politics instead of hike a mountain. Not once, ladies, did I ever put the most fascinating or controversial, intellectually stimulating politics or economics over a great ball-sucking blowjob. Not once did I put the most fascinating book on economics I've ever read or a seminar I had above having an orgasm. Not once, and certainly not love. Certainly not love. You girls, you millennial, I can't even say girls because there were boys in that millennial group that, I mean, my God, I got a gun in the car. Do y'all want to go shoot yourselves in a communal suicide? You'd be happier that way. The fact you guys are so miserable because you put your politics above all else, because you have nothing else in value in life, that is why you are miserable. That is why you are worthless. And it's funny. It's funny. For people like me, who put humans first, who love our fellow man more than anything else, who value it more than anything else in life, even our most passionate of hobbies, even the most dangerous of threats. You think I don't know that socialism is a threat? You don't think I know that's important? I put brain power into that, but I'm not going to let it ruin my life. But to watch basically my political adversaries and enemies inflict punishment upon themselves that I couldn't even mete out with the most spectacular of Cartmanian-like levels. There's people I've thought about, man, if I gotta go with cancer, I'm gonna take out this guy, this girl, that guy, and this girl. And they all deserve it. They all deserve it. But as I've gotten older, I look at them, I'm like, why would I do them that favor? Why would you bump off some feminist shrill, some harpy, some women's studies professor who's fat and miserable and short hair? Why would you bump her off no matter what she's done for ruination of your enjoyment of the sexes? She is so miserable. Any kind of physical retribution against a leftist is a mercy killing. If you really want the left to be pained and miserable, you really want vengeance upon them, let them live life. Let them be a leftist. Leave them alone. Encourage them. Just like I did that dipshit checkout boy. He wanted, lecture me about Trump. You get Trump later. I'm like, hey, what are you going to study? Theater? You better get your doctorate. You let them live. You encourage them. Yes, big is beautiful. Yes, your politics is more important than love. Yes, your career is more important than your children. Yes, your education is more important than your theoretical husband. Yes, your politics is more important than your fellow love and affection of your fellow man. Things are more important than investments. Items and status and prestige and your social justice warring and your virtue signaling and you buying organic, that's more important than you having a job, a profession, a career, or becoming a contributing member to society and actually working up something of value. Yes, all of that is true. You keep on going and being the miserable fucking cunt you are. And by cunt, I mean both female and male leftists. Please go continue to be miserable. Cry because a public official was found out not to be corrupt. Be miserable when you're never going to be in this prime state of your life again, living in great hiking conditions with great jobs. Be miserable now. Be miserable now because a guy you don't like is president. Because if you're miserable now, I can't wait to see when you're like that baby boomer woman serving up me my coffee in Trinidad, Colorado, who you damn well know is bankrupt, this is her last hurrah. She thinks this damn coffee shop is going to save her. And it's not going to happen. Because she was a leftist and didn't want to work. All of her decisions were made in laziness and sloth and politics and not love and selflessness and happiness and joy and working, being for your fellow man, be your husband, your children, your friends, your society. That's their future. That's their fate. You want to end that? You want to put an end to that? Let them be. Let them live. Let millennial women think that their politics is more important than orgasms. Please do. I mean, how much more empirical evidence do you need, guys? Have you looked at the baby boomer generation? Have you looked at the baby boomer women? I mean, the baby boomer men, God bless them if they get out of life, they die in this life with only 2 divorces under the belt. God bless them if they actually can retire. And then look at the baby boomer women. Oh my God, shortcut. The Our Time, not In Our Time like BBC, but Our Time, the dating site. All these washed up baby boomer women thinking they're going to get laid. They're going to find millionaire husbands the 3rd time around. They think they're going to find Richard fucking Gere. They got their cats. It's so sad. It's not a stereotype. It's such a stereotype that it's true. It's a fact now. Look at Gen X women. Look at Gen X guys. Oh, guys, how's that first round of divorce going for you guys, huh? You didn't swallow the red pill, did you? Oh, look at because I know you guys probably don't have a lot of baby boomer female friends, but I got a lot of baby boomer female friends, and you go on the Facebook, divorce, single ma, rah rah, time to get serious, I got my master's, I have to, not that they deserve it, I mean, I'm just saying, when you fall for the leftist indoctrination and brainwashing, and you put your fucking career, you put fucking money, not even money. Fuck, half these times these girls major in stupid shit where there is no money. You put the fucking bullshit fake prestige of having a master's degree and your goddamn politics above people.